Afternoon, Suburban Prepper here. I'm doing a live stream in the afternoon. Welcome to the channel. I do prepping videos, medical videos, and prepping videos for those that are new, because I've had an influx of a couple thousand new subscribers, and I want to thank you for joining my channel. One thing I'm not, though, is funny. I'm not a funny guy when I make my videos. I've decided I'm going to put some more comedy, some more humor in my videos. Sort of tough for me. I'm such a serious guy, not a fun guy. I usually do morning stream lives, but nobody on my channel is watching them that in the morning. What's the sense of doing it? I want you to watch my videos. So I decided I'm going to switch it up and do afternoon stream lives here at the Suburban Prepper channel. I want to thank you for joining me if you're new to the channel, first time tuning in. So I like to have a little talk and drive and talk. I worked in Illinois, across the border. I live in Indiana. I'm a Hoosier through and through. What a day today. Every day is a what a day. I'm supposed to have a good hook line, you know, when I start a video, like to get you interested in joining, to sign in and then watch the video. I don't have a good hook line. I can't think of it. Watch this video if you want to watch this video. Today's video, we're going to live stream and we're going to talk about some shit that's irrelevant, honestly, in the big picture, but it's fun to talk about. So what I like to do a lot in my drives is just talk about the kind of videos that I'm making and how they're going. I made a video the other day about prepping, homesteading for your home, geared towards suburban preppers that live in a home, have a home of some sort, and the shit that can happen in your home and what you can do to prevent it. It's a rather extensively long video, but there's no humor in it. But I'm still going to release it as it is. Taking a deep yawn. Had a long day. I wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning every day, okay? I get inspired when I'm sitting on the toilet to make a video about a certain subject about prepping. And this morning, I thought, I think of the terms of medical, okay? The medical problems that I encounter. I work in primary care as a nurse practitioner. I was an Army medic for a long time with the 160th, with other units, with the National Guard, multiple combat tours, you know, paratrooper, flight medic. I know what the hell I'm talking about. Worked in the med surge and ICU, worked in ERs. As a nurse practitioner, I worked in urgent care. It's not about being there and doing that. I don't really have that kind of ego. But I thought about this ideas for doing a nosebleed video. I mean, literally, not a sarcastic nosebleed, but a real nosebleed video. Because under the bad at worst of circumstances, nosebleeds can be pretty serious. And what kept popping into my mind, okay, is bleeding from an orifice. And how if you stick your finger in that orifice, it can make the bleeding worse. Now, so basically that was the hook line for the video that I'm going to work on today and refine it, make it more funny. But also teach you something. Now, I'm not so ego driven that I can't learn things either. I try to read all my comments that people post, and I try to respond back to most of them now. It's getting somewhat tough. Um, One guy, completely AI bullshit, but I'm making these videos. Whether or not I use AI is irrelevant. It's my thoughts, my words, the technology. Of course, I'm using AI and helping build my videos, but it's not like I'm just typing 3 words and out. I wake up, I do the work. The AI is the B-roll shit. Like I can drive around and, well, I guess I could, and record stuff. So yeah, do I use AI in my videos? Of course I do. Does that everybody? Oh, you watch your most favorite movie, Superman, or the Marvel universe, whatever. That's all AI. But then all of a sudden, when a little guy like me does it, it's bad. That's like calling someone racist if they're a Republican. That's what that is akin to me, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah, I use AI. I pay for it. I don't think some of my earlier videos were crappy. I'm wearing a tray. Oh, yeah, I'm yawning because I've had a long day. I've worked hard all day. And life, it's not just about me. I like to learn things. I love to learn. And I've gotten some pretty good ideas from some people's comments. And one comment was when I talked about the radios and communication, the rule of threes. Someone talked about a a police scanner, and I've got a UDS Uniden SDS 100 scanner, which for some reason it's over $600-700. It's a great scanner, and it's top notch. And I don't know how to use the thing like it should be used. So that inspired me. Oh, this guy's turning. I'm sorry. That inspired me. Okay, I'm going to do a long form video on the Uniden and record each thing that I'm doing as a video. And I'll put it all together. It's going to take a while. That way, if you bought a Uniden SDS 100, which I highly recommend you do after I produce this video, you can watch my video and learn how to do it. You'll see my magical hands. If it's in your price range. I mean, that $700 for a police scanner is a bit pricey. I understand. Well, the reason why I like the SDS 100 is I can listen to police scans wherever I'm at geographically. It'll pick up your location from GPS and sets you up with where the police, where the 50 is, other agencies. And you can download some apps that you pay for to increase the people you can listen to. That's a challenge for me. I've not done that before. I know how to turn my thing on and scan and type in a zip code and go from there. And you can use it anywhere. It's a great thing. It's technology. So I'm going to make a video about it. Here's what I did. Okay. Speaking of AI, I went to Uniden and I downloaded the instruction manual. Okay. And if you ever read a instruction manual, it's worse than my voice. It's very boring. You can read it and then fall asleep. So then I went to my AI, my Jasper AI. I said, make this more interesting because I want to make a video about it. So I put all the information in and configured it. And then I added some frequently asked questions. And it's a project that I'm working on. So I could maybe put that together and have some humor in that when I do the video. But I'm going to start from the basics when I do my Uniden SDS 100 video. And the link will be in the link will be in the description when I do that video. Another thing that I like to make videos about are, but before we do that, I have membership now. If you want to start watching some of my more risque videos that YouTube considers risque, subscribe to my, should slow down for that one, oh boy. Subscribe to my channel and you'll see some more of my risque videos that YouTube doesn't like to publish or share. So I'm discovering that they don't like to monetize gun videos, for example. So I guess I'm going to have to put the gun videos, because I love going to shooting my guns, you know. Not figuratively, I'm talking literally. Okay, not these guns. Although I am lifting, I am working out. Can't tell, but I am. So, I wonder if they ban bow and arrows. Okay. Anyway, because I'm driving by the place, this guy sells the most awesome bow and arrow stuff. And he's got an archery in the back. And he also sells smoked or wood that you can use to smoke. And he's got tons of U-Hauls. I mean, he's a GP, general purpose, but he's primarily a bow and arrow kind of guy. And he's helped me out. I got neuropathy in this finger from the old 1-2 here. So I have a strap that I use to shoot my bow and arrow. And basically it's like that. Cling. Because I have a hard time feeling it in my fingers. Well, this guy's got a lot of trash. Better watch out. Anyway, I haven't made any bow and arrow videos. Maybe I should. I'm an amateur bow and arrow kind of guy. See, I have a 40-pound system. My bows and my arrows are 40 pounds, 30 pounds, something like that. Not that heavy. And I just do it for recreation anyway. And I don't have a compound bow. And I don't have a sling bow, the kind you can aim like a single shot firearm. I just have a regular bow and regular arrows. And they're fun to shoot. And I got to really practice to aiming. I'm imagining I can put a scope on something and titrate it to where I'm aiming at to hit. Consider I've got tons of scopes. I've got this one pistol scope that would be super for that. Basically, you got to have it 3 feet in front of you to look for it. Much like when you're shooting it. There's an idea. I have it on my my Luger, my 22 Luger pistol. It looks like Han Solo's firearm from Star Wars. It was just a 22, and it had this big ass. Well, for the pistol, it had a big scope on it, and I took that off because it's more fun just to shoot it, you know, with the iron sights that are on it. Anyway, I don't know what else to do with that pistol scope. Also, I put it so far forward on an AR rifle on the, but I won't do that. That's ridiculous. So I'm going back talking about guns. Wanted to talk about doing my nosebleed video. And I know how to treat a nosebleed. I mean, you know, you check the blood pressure, you check the platelet count, check a complete blood count, you know, get the history, and you figure out what you're going to do. And so I made a video about it. And yeah, I'm probably going to use AI to do it. I mean, or I can use, here's the other thing I can do. I can use AI, and I've got my pulmonary mannequins. It's basically, I got a head and lungs of a guy. Why not do the videos with that? It's sort of cute. And I also have a full mannequin with a leg missing, or the foot's missing from the leg. I can't fix that. But anyway, or I could just do AI. Who knows? So, what I find amazing is some of my videos. Oh, it's flooded here. Sorry. I don't really like you. Yeah. I mean, where's this water coming from? Next to a cornfield going home, and there's some water in front of a gas station that I can't find a source to. There's something's leaked or something. There's no reason why that water should be like it is. And it's moving. Everything else is dry, so I don't get that. They have a break in the water line there. So the deal is, if you see another Jeep, you're supposed to say hi. Sometimes I forget, and I say hi to the Broncos. That's okay, though. So let me introduce myself to the new people. Suburban Prepper here. And my journey of prepping and survival started in the military after I graduated from SEER school at Fort Bragg, Camp McCall, Camp Rowe, whatever you want to call it, the JFK school that my unit had to go through. That's when I became a prepper. A prepper out of paranoia. Plus, in the 160th days, we did a lot of outside stuff. Not so much basic bushcraft and survival skills related to military.
New text message from Paul at Solar.
So that's that. I turned 21 in SEER school. I'll never forget that day. And some people just don't, they have to scoot out so far. Like, okay, I know you're in the road, but guess what? Well, let me go through. I don't know, because when's the best time to do a live stream like this? Is it the YouTube says between 4 and 6 o'clock, and so it's 5 o'clock now. But I don't know that I'm getting anybody that's going to listen to my stream, or maybe I'm so boring that nobody would want to listen anyway. Anyway, back to the videos. So one video that's 5 things prepper video that I made, and I was planning on doing it an urban survival series, but one video just took off like a bat out of hell. Okay, it took off really good. And then more recently, I did a video on individual first aid kits, but I premised the video on my bag as a new medic working on a guy with a femur fracture in the old days. And the mistakes that I made, and a lot of people, a lot of fellow preppers or survivalists don't understand that an individual first aid kit is meant for someone to use on you, to take the supplies that you have and use them on you, not to take their supplies and use them on you. That's what your individual first aid kit is. And I've had some people bash me because I use AI in the video. So what? And I learned now that the standard is a 10 gauge IV catheter unit. You know how much those run for? One simple IV catheter, 10 gauge, it was like $40 a piece. And that's from the company that makes them. So, you know, somebody will make an off version of it eventually. Now you can get 10 gauge needles for ear piercings, but it doesn't have a catheter attached to it. So it doesn't work. When you do the needle decompression, you want to stick the needle in the pleural cavity and leave the catheter in there and take the needle out. Of course, only if you're certified to do that. I'm not training people how to do that, much less certifying them. I don't even know how the hell you would certify somebody to do that, to say, yeah, you got a license to do that. Obviously, I would. The purpose of the video is for your prepper group, your MAG, okay, your group of baddies, to have the same packing list of an IFAC, of an individual first aid kit. That was all it was about. It wasn't about anything else. But I'm glad that I'm getting people to respond, and I'm learning things too as we go along. Because I was a medic in the Army from 89 to 2011. I was the medic. I went on to become a registered nurse. I stayed in the Guard as a medic. I went on to become a nurse practitioner. I stayed in the Guard as a medic. I enjoyed being the medic. Never really cared to be called doc because that was too informal for me. I liked being called medic. And I had a good time. Back in the old days, when we'd go to the gun range to qualify, when the troops would go, I would be able to shoot everything that everybody else shot, be it grenades, AT-4, rocket launcher, 50 cal. I got a turn at it too. I didn't get to qualify with it because of Geneva Convention, but I got to shoot it, and I would help clean it too, or sometimes not. The last time I went to the gun range in 2010 with a Guard unit, the medic had to stay with the ambulance. And they were so strict about it. And it was no fun at all. I was supporting I think it was an MP unit. I'm not sure. I think it was. And whatever they were, I couldn't shoot any of their weapons. You know, just get a couple of magazines, someone's A4, and just go to the range and just shoot, or even just go to the zero range and just shoot. They wouldn't. The times have changed. That's all I can say. And I'm sort of glad that I'm not in it anymore, because what's the hell? I mean, I used to cover these things. We used to go to the rappel tower. Of course I'm going to rappel. We used to do fast rope off our helicopters. You need a medic. Well, I was right there. I was just fast roping down. Now, the only exception is when we would do a parachute jump. You had to have medics on the ground. So we would take turns being the ground medic, because eventually everybody in my section, medical section in the 160th, was on jump status. It was a requirement that all the medics are on jump status. I don't know how they changed it now. And 3 of us were on flight status. I got to be on both. And I don't know how they changed it now. The unit's probably a lot bigger. And yeah, whatever. Good times. So yeah, I was the medic, and I like to keep up to date on the current medical stuff that's going on with the military. So I do. This intersection, just people are just so rude. Judge Binks, so rude. Anyway, so I make medical videos, but here's the thing: have you read or listened to my audiobook, My Journey as a Combat Medic? So I'm talking about being a medic. I need to mention my audiobook. But I wrote a book about my experiences as a medic. It's not a mind earth-shattering experience, okay? It was about my journey as a combat medic. And I wrote it, and I have different chapters. And I think my next chapter of my next book will be about being a nurse practitioner. Or I should have wrote one about being an RN and then a nurse practitioner. I'm sure if you go to one of my other videos that have been recently released, you'll find a link where you can download it and take a listen on audible.com. Take a listen, you'll enjoy it. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, in addition to being a nurse practitioner and family nurse practitioner, so I can see kids, babies, newborns, women and men, transgender, none of that matters to me. Really. I'll see all of you. I'll take care of all of you. We do it based on, in my case, based on age, family nurse practitioner. You have acute care nurse practitioners, which is, it's devolved now. It's basically an adult nurse practitioner that works inpatient. And then you have pediatric, and then you have some subspecialties of psychiatry and psychiatric NPs and all that. I wanted to be a medical nurse practitioner. But I would have also have liked to take, back when they had the acute care, because that was correlating more with what I did as an ICU nurse. I actually interviewed for an ICU job as a nurse practitioner. I didn't get it. They didn't care that I had experience. I actually interviewed to be a neurosurgical nurse practitioner. The guy that interviewed me actually hired someone who I taught a class to. I taught a nurse practitioner class to them. It wasn't meant to be. Anyway, I graduated from George Washington University, complementary and alternative medicine, integrative medicine. So I know my Ayurvedic and I know my herbals. Doesn't mean I grow them. Okay, I just know them and what you can take for certain conditions. And my word is gospel. Otherwise, I wouldn't tell you something. Now, take them at your own risk. I'm not prescribing you medicine. I'm not changing anybody's plan of care. But I do medical videos like that. And I love doing alternative medicine videos. And when everybody, come on, tune in. I only have 2 people watching right now. I need more. So when I do alternative medicine, people think it's always about dope or marijuana. And I can't stand the marijuana. So no. And I will never prescribe marijuana, even if I had a medical license to do it. You can make a lot of money doing that. But no, in the state that I live in, you can't anyway. And I wouldn't. It's not my thing. And then there's a niche of preppers who think that you can grow all the herbal medicine that you need. But the truth of the matter is, I live here in Northwest Indiana, okay? Zone 5, grow zone 5. You can't grow a lot of these Ayurvedic herbs. They don't grow in this climate. And I don't have the money the woohoo big money to have a permanent greenhouse. If I did, if this channel blew up or expand, I better watch what I say when I say blow up. What I mean by that is if it really expanded and I could get some land, I would put a greenhouse on there and I would grow some more exotic plants that require tropical, because they would be inside a greenhouse where you can make it tropical with the sun and the greenhouse effect, hence greenhouse. But I digress. I'm not there yet. If I had land from this channel, I would also make my own gun videos at my own range. That would be so much fun. And I'd have to invite other people to shoot at my range because one is such a lonely number. And it would also become my bug out location, my 10, 20, 30 acres, whatever I could get. I would plan on that being my bug out location. So I would secretly cache things there, start growing some fruit trees to cover and conceal, and have stuff that grows. Have my garden, have a chicken coop or rabbit coop, whatever, I don't care. Well, rabbits can't produce eggs. I would want the chickens for eggs and meat, but it would be all in one. I'm at a stop sign or stop light, and the lady next to me is looking at me like I'm weird because I'm talking, and that's okay. So that's my story, okay? That's my story. I'm the Suburban Prepper. Why did I pick that name? Because I realized I live in the suburbs, and I'm a prepper. I thought about going with disgruntled combat medic veteran, blah, 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 blah. Too many words. Too much blah, blah out of the mouth. Because basically, I'm a prepper. Let me tell you a story. Talking about greenhouse, okay? I had these two small greenhouses, 10 by 6. No, 10 by 10, actually. And then I tried to grow stuff in my basement. And I was using the water from the sump pump to water my plants. And it worked. Everything worked, except the soil. Of course, the soil is alive, okay? That's the soil is alive just as much as your plants are and just as much as you are. So respect the soil. So the soil didn't, I took the soil, I had the that act and did not work out for me. But for a couple of months, I grew some potatoes. I had trying to grow. It was a very slow process. And it was a try. I tried. I failed utterly. But guess what, folks? It's okay if you fail. Because if you don't fail, you don't get better. Now, failing and quitting are two complete different things. You can fail at something, but not quit. You learn from the failure, so you don't give up. And I like to go in the slow lane because I'm not a fast driver. Ladies and gentlemen, I like to drive slow, which is the speed limit. So let's just take a quick listen. I don't know if it's going to disconnect or not.
Hello, Patrick. I have to check the schedule and should know by Friday and likely be out on Saturday.
Great, thank you. Uh, Back to my video. I really tried to make a video or make my garden survive in the basement. Crazy ass idea. Luckily, it got so humid in my basement, I bought a dehumidifier. Don't realize how much humidity you get there. And I had to call it quits. That was a complete, utter failure. So a couple of years go by. I have my, it's a collapsible, that you can put on it. I put it up this summer, put it into the ground, of course. And then it rained like got stormy, and the rain loosened up the stakes in the ground, and it flew off, bent, and broke off. So I trashed that one. So I'm down one greenhouse. I still have the metal frame for it in the backyard. And what I'm doing is, for fun, I just like to cut it open with my angle grinder. Sounds weird, but it's so relaxing to use the angle grinder and to just use the metal grinder and just rip through metal. It is so relaxing. It's dangerous. You got to know what the hell you're doing. And I wear gloves and I hold it and I'm doing it. I got glasses on and it sparks and it's just so relaxing to do that. And I'm working on making a angle grinder video. I think that's one of the best tools a prepper could have. It's an angle grinder video. Maybe I'll pick my nose. Who knows? Anyway. Am I live? Oh, yeah, I am. So I'm just driving home today. And I decided to do a live stream. And we'll see how many people pick up. Maybe if I did it more often, I'd get more participation. But the thing is, I can't see what anybody's posting if anyone posts any comments. What's in Illinois people doing here? Yeah. So it's been a long day. I don't like talking about patients at work on my YouTube at all. I don't want to violate anybody's privacy. And I speak in generalities. And generality, somebody really, a patient, I'll just let it go, just like the song says. Because if the patient happened to listen to this, they'll know who they are. I didn't see the patient today. It was just a telephone call. And some of the ridiculousness that I have to deal with. It's somewhat frustrating. But it's not a medical nurse practitioner venting channel. It's a suburban prepping channel. But I'm just a human, okay? This is just water, folks. Just water. I'm going to drink some water. Excuse me. It's sad to say, there was this resale shop that I used to go to on the way home from work. And they would close at 6 before. Then they started closing at 5. And they were never open on Mondays, the one day I used to be able to work from home. And now they're out of business. But $5 for tools that were rather expensive. And I would buy them. And that's some rusty stuff, some good stuff. So at least I got what I could from them. I guess when you sell used stuff, it's a rough business because there was another secondhand store that sold some rough stuff, not just clothes and shoes, and they went out of business too. I guess it's rough because you have to go to people, when they die and they sell off all their stuff. The family does, whatever those are called. When you die and you're dead, and like, what am I gonna do with all this dead man shit? Or okay, and they sell it to like they have a bid, and you're like, okay, you can buy all this junk, and some of it's good, but we're not going to take the time to go through it. You take a bid on it, and we'll get the highest bid. Estate sales. Okay, sometimes I get lost for words. I'm sure they have to go to estate sales and bid on stuff, and it's competitive because people sell stuff on eBay now, used stuff, and whatever. Everyone's got to make a buck, right? So the other store down the street that I'm going to pass, they went out of business too. And I got a pair of sneakers. Now, this may sound gross to you, okay? I bought a pair of Skechers sneakers there that I had for like 5 years. And they fit me. They fit gloriously, and they felt so soft on my feet. So beautiful. From a $5 pair of shoes from a secondhand store. That could be a song. And then, of course, the shoes wore out, and I had to get rid of them. But they were good shoes. The only thing is they had weird lacings on it. It was like the shoelace on it was almost like 550 cord, black 550 cord. And it was too long. And the cord, the laces were like 5 feet long and dragged. So I would tie everything up in knots and knots and knots. Not thinking was cut it and burn it and seal it. So that store's gone. There's another used secondhand store down the road, and another one. And I like to buy non-electric tools. Okay, and obviously like a screwdriver would be the one thing. So that's what I buy. So I'm driving by the old store, and yeah, it's definitely out of business. And my daughter, she would go shopping with me, and we would go to the secondhand store, but they would always have something, a used toy that was great, and then she loved it. And then, they had like the dolls and stuff, those American Girl dolls. Some people would sell them. We bought one from a secondhand store. They didn't know what they were selling. Those dolls were pretty expensive. I got my favorite American Girl doll, and for some reason we named her Sandra D, like from the Grease movie. And she wears a okay, this is talking about gibberish now, okay? She wears she has like a sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and she looks like the Unabomber. So I made up a song about her. Look at me, I'm Sandra D. I don't like technology. And then you can add whatever words you want. And I don't have any internet for me, because the Unabomber rejected technology, and she has her hoodie on. And my daughter used to sing that. She doesn't sing it anymore, but that was my song for my doll, my daughter's doll. Knock 3 times. We're going to go see if this guy's turning or not. I guess he is. There's some impatient motherfuckers here. That's how people die. So the pool season's just about over. We have a... This guy's not going to stop. These people here, I don't like them. Oh, look, they have the sign up. No motorized vehicles. I guess you can... It says on the... So they're so asinine here in the subdivision. If you buy a house, okay, don't buy one where there's a the king and queen, you know, and you have to an HOA. They're ridiculous. They have these signs posted, no motorized vehicles. So, but the people around here, okay, it's the cool thing is to have golf carts, battery operated golf carts, and drive around like, I don't know, like it's a spaceship or something. My neighbor has a clown car. It literally looks like a clown car. See what the mail is. So I'm home. So I'm sitting here talking in my car. I'm looking at my neighbor, whom I don't like. He can go fuck himself. Him and his whole family. At least the other neighbor is somewhat cordial, but his kids just get on my nerves. They sound like little girls, these boys. And their poor pop is doing shit in their yard, right? Working. And what are they doing? Nothing. They're not helping their dad out. Learn these valuable skills as a kid. Not my problem. Anyway, that's the Suburban Prepper. This is survival. This is resilience.